that traffic driving you mad? Of course it must. Makes you feel angry too, does it not? Sometimes it makes you want to step out and hit someone. Well, anxiety, stress and consequently rage is an increasing problem in large and growing cities. Driving in such traffic conditions as you see behind me, well, it's a genuine health concern. It's not just the pollution that we are causing. Heart disease and anxiety are two critical outcomes of stress brought on by driving in traffic. Now we at OVERDRIVE, we love to drive and we would like you to get behind the wheel and enjoy all that modern technology has to offer. But not like this. This is harmful, and so we decided to take a close look at stress brought on by driving in this very special story. What are the causes of stress? Is it gender specific? Is it age specific? Is there a vehicle type that leads to more stress? We also take a close look at the factors that lead to stress, and I'll also make a few suggestions that would probably help you to reduce stress. It's a growing health concern and we'd like you to stay safe and healthy. This is the stress test. Stress isn't restricted to urban areas in India where traffic density is higher than normal. Driving in smaller Indian towns is just as stressful since they have a smaller police force to man traffic, lesser traffic lights and less stringent licensing procedures than in urban areas. Nonetheless, commuters in urban areas, especially in a city like Mumbai, could spend anywhere upwards of an hour and a half during peak traffic trying to cover a distance of less than 10 kilometers. Just imagine, as per a census conducted in 2015 by the Mumbai RTO, there are over 1200 vehicles per kilometer of road in Greater Mumbai. Nearly 26 lakh vehicles reside on my city's roads. Peak rush hour traffic definitely is a very tight squeeze. Now, we are an automotive media, not a health-related media. As such, our work revolves around cars. And for this, the stress test, we've identified 3 body styles that, are a very, very big factor in stress-related disorders. Now, just how much do they contribute to stress is what we're trying to see. For the same, we've got a hatchback, that's the Maruti Baleno. So, well, it's a fairly large hatchback, very wide dimensions, but a fairly good driving position where you can see a lot of the road. What kind of results will the hatchback throw up? That's what we're trying to see. After that, we've got a sedan. Now, that's of course longer than the hatchback, also a fairly large, wide stance on the roads, but lower ground clearance and of course a low driving position. And what challenges does that throw up, where stress is concerned? Another interesting aspect to see. After that, we've got the SUV, and again, higher ground clearance, wider stance, more area around it. So visibility, of course, because it's sitting up higher is better, but still lots of challenges thrown up by an SUV. And just to understand how much of all 3 of these, of course, they are manual transmission cars. We've thrown into the mix a 4th car, and that's the Skoda Octavia at the back there, and that has got an automatic transmission. Now, in Bombay's urban, crowded commuter traveling, is an automatic that much more beneficial than a manual transmission? Well, that's something we're going to have to figure out for ourselves. Our test subjects, well, you've already seen them. They've been kitted out at the Asian Heart Institute, and they've already got the ECG monitors and blood pressure monitors. Guys, here are the keys. Over the next couple of days, they are going to be driving each of these cars, all these 4 cars, and we're going to record just what happens to stress levels inside each of these cars in these crowded conditions. So, all the best, guys. Have a great time, and let's see what those results throw up. To conduct our tests and find out if any particular vehicle type affected stress, we decided to seek professional medical help. That brought us to the Asian Heart Institute, one of India's premier cardiac care hospitals, to partner this study. They provided us with a Holter monitor, a portable device to monitor your heart's activity, and an ambulatory device that tracks your blood pressure over regular intervals. After the test, these reports would come back to us, and with Dr. Nilesh Gautam's help, we would better understand the outcome. The route we selected for the drive began from Asian Heart Institute, went past King Circle, onwards towards Lower Parel, and finally ended at our office at 1 India Bulls, a distance of 11 kilometers. We would conduct the test in both directions, at 10 a.m. in the morning and then back again in the evening at 7 p.m.
Our stage is set, there's enough traffic on the roads for our volunteers to drive through. They've got their ambulatory devices on. Let the stress test begin.
The easiest to commute I found was the hatchback. The size of the hatchback just makes it more convenient to zip in and out of traffic.
Since the hatchback is a small car, there were a lot of people cutting in, and you have to protect your car. So I felt the hatchback was something which was pushed around a lot. I was getting bullied around a lot.
I was driving the Baleno yesterday in peak traffic in the evening, and what I realized is that I was feeling completely at home the moment I started driving the car, because I usually drive a hatchback to work every day, and it was easy to maneuver through the evening traffic.
We conducted a poll on social media and 58% people agreed that a hatchback was their preferred set of wheels while commuting to and from work daily. While our primary candidates felt relatively stress-free in a hatchback, the halter test results showed a very different story. From this result, it's clear that while Sanjay felt he was comfortable in the Baleno, the test shows a significant jump in his heart rate. The same can be said for Sohini and Donald, whose heart rates rose significantly above normal. Sohini had no issue driving the hatchback and was pleased with the car, but her results showed that she still experienced stress. Donald, on the other hand, wasn't comfortable at all and felt he was bullied in a small car, which also explains his higher than normal heart rate.
Like I said before, I drive a hatchback, so I thought that driving the hatchback in the city would be the most comfortable, but I was pleasantly surprised that driving the Verna was very comfortable. It gave me the kind of confidence just to maneuver through traffic at a much faster pace than I would have in the Baleno.
When it comes to the sedan, it was much comfortable. It was a comfortable drive, and no one is pushing you around. But I felt the sedan is too long, and to maneuver it, I wasn't comfortable with it.
The sedan was quite comfortable and spacious, and I felt quite at ease while driving it. However, one had to be just a little more mindful about the extra length as compared to a hatchback. Otherwise, overall, it was quite a nice drive. Also, considering the fact that I was driving during the morning hours, I guess one was a little fresher and felt a little more ease while tackling the traffic.
Our online poll showed the sedan as the least popular car body style to be driven in traffic. But of our three volunteers, Donald was the only one to show the highest amount of stress in the sedan. Both Sanjay and Sohini had the least amount of stress in this car. In fact, Sohini began appreciating the sedan's more powerful character, which allowed her to move through traffic quicker.
Yeah, it's a clear choice for me there. I would prefer the SUV any day because it's comfortable, first of all. It has road presence, so nobody cuts you, and I feel it's the right choice.
With the SUV, you got to be mindful about the size and just get used to that.
So when I was given the Creta keys, I naturally assumed that because I would be sitting in a big SUV, everybody would give me space and I would be able to drive through traffic without any problem. People would see a big car coming in the mirror and they would just move out, but that's not usually the case. That's what I found out while driving. That whether you're in a big car, small car or a sedan, nobody gives you way in the city.
SUVs are getting to be increasingly popular, and it's no surprise. Most owners feel more comfortable and less stressed in a vehicle that sits higher than most other cars, has better field of vision and seemingly stronger character. But to our device, that meant nothing at all. All three volunteers showed higher stress levels than normal in the SUV.
To me, a car with automatic transmission would be a clear choice over a manual one, simply because it's a lot more convenient to drive in traffic, and I have a little problem with my knee, so the elimination of clutch work goes a long way to elevate physical stress as well as mental stress. It is combined with the fact that you don't really have to do too much and be too aware of anything. It's much more convenient to drive an automatic.
Since I usually drive a manual, driving an automatic was a little difficult for me. Not difficult, it took a little while getting used to, but once I did, it was sort of comfortable. I would say that it was a lot more stressful than the other manual cars that I drove. Could be because of the size of the Octavia. I'm not used to driving such a big sedan. So I don't think it was very comfortable on the roads, and I have learned driving on a manual and I drive it on a regular basis, so I wasn't very comfortable on this ride.
The automatic is definitely less stressful in traffic. It's comfortable. The main thing being I don't have to switch gears and my leg is relaxed. With the manual, it's a bit stressful, but I would still prefer the manual because I feel I have better control over the car.
The automatic fared no better at all, and contrary to popular belief, it is not less stressful to drive. The difference is that it's less exhausting, not less stressful.
Now, we aren't medical experts, but thanks to our association with the Asian Heart Institute in Mumbai, we spoke to Dr. Nilesh Gautam, a senior interventional cardiologist and head of Department of Preventive Cardiology and Rehabilitation.
We had a chance to conduct a survey, so we have done 3 patients on 2 days, and we have monitored Holter and ambulatory BP. By Holter, I mean we attached a machine and from on set, means from point A, from work, from office, home to point B, that is office, and back during peak stress hours, we monitored the heart rate and the blood pressure. And we were not surprised. We saw significant rise in both the blood pressure and the heart rate when the driver was driving from home to his workplace, and 45 minutes to an hour later, subsequently both the blood pressure and the heart rate came down to normal levels. So these spikes and coming down to normal should not happen, and they did happen because of an abnormal increased response to the stress which the individuals faced while driving the vehicle in congested traffic. There are 3 major categories according to which stress is divided, that is episodic stress, acute stress and chronic stress. So driving typically is associated with episodic stress, that it usually begins when the person starts driving, reaches the traffic, and up to I think about 35 or 45 minutes post reaching his destination. As far as multiple levels of stress which a driver undergoes when he is driving a vehicle, episodic stress, the factors among them, I think driving is one of the topmost. Of course, the other things being nowadays, because your mobile phones are connected, so he's connected to his office space, home, and continuously talking or thinking or talking to the neighboring driver. All these distractions Yes, but traffic and the conditions related to the traffic form one of the major causes of acute episodic stress while driving. If you have silent or underlying blood pressure or a borderline blood pressure which is not detected because you are asymptomatic, then while driving the blood pressure may episodically shoot up and down. So silent ischemia means lack of blood supply to the heart or to the brain, may be developing, right, and may come to the forefront as a sudden event, maybe months or years later, but the actual background is daily stress which you are being exposed to for 1 to 2 hours while driving.
So what are the factors that lead to stress? 1. Traffic in large cities tends to get claustrophobic. Vehicles inching closer, closing you in raises anxiety levels. 2. Improper traffic regulation, and most often the sight of traffic police managing traffic raises anxiety. 3. The safety of your vehicle and the fact that at any moment someone could nick or scratch or worse, dent your car arouses fear and rage. Unpredictability of traffic and the realization that you cannot do anything about it is a further stimulus to anxiety and stress levels increasing. 5th, cultural influences and what we observe as children plays a large role in our future as motorists. Parents who had traffic-related rage issues will often pass on similar traits to their children who constantly observe adult behavior.
So, but I think we should take this route as an alternative route which will make us reach faster overall. But it will look shorter. I think we can rely on Google Maps to get us a faster route out of here. Yeah, it's showing quite a few places, so it's quite empty. So we can reach faster. Sure. Let's head down that way. Hopefully our journey should be quicker.
ऑडियो बजने वाला है, जबरदस्त बजने वाला है, हिमेश रेशम में आएगा अभी.
After the test, what is obvious is that no matter the condition, people who step into traffic will get stressed. Levels may differ from person to person, but there isn't anyone out there who gets into traffic and stays unruffled. Now stress, well, it does not qualify on gender, neither does it see what type of car you're driving. Some people may feel little less stressful driving one car over another. Even automatics don't seem to help that much. What is clear is that we need better policing, stricter discipline and harsher penalties that will compel motorists to follow the law and maintain discipline when on the road. Stress is brought on by, well, a lack of infrastructure, people's attitude and a breakdown of order. Reducing stress is up to us alone, even though the government definitely needs to step up, improve infrastructure and help maintain discipline. So in the meantime, well, try and stay calm. It's the only way to a healthier lifestyle.